Hello. First of all, a little bit introduction about myself. My name is Muneeb Ahmed Khan. I am from Sungmin University, South Korea. Currently, I am doing a research in disinformation and the fake news, and the title was Disinformation and Epidemic. If we talk about it, as Sir Abraham Lincoln said in 2006, that just because you see something on the internet with a quote or a picture and a date, it doesn't mean that it's going to be true. Due to the sudden rise in the social media and the platform, there is a rapid increase in the data, and it has been there's a study in which there's a that each day there's a millions of downloads from a YouTube. There's a hundred and thousands of the posts from the on or shares in the tweets and the Facebook. So in 2025, it is estimated that we have a data of a 175 zettabyte, and currently we are producing each year like on a basis of 80 to 100 zettabyte each year. So for that, people have moved in this info era of the information, where we can find any source of information on the internet. Social media has become a source of information. People often tend towards to move towards that social media for different source of information, be it may any news, be it may any catastrophe or the pandemic or an epidemic. We often tend to move towards the social media as a source of information. Due to this sudden shifting from the to the source of information that we got from on a different platforms, there's a rise of fake news and a fake media, and you can say the agenda or the or you can say the discourse of the audience and the context that we are talking about. It has been estimated that more than 50% of the internet users worldwide are worried about encountering false information and online. The study has been published by the Oxford Press in 2020, titled "Spread of Disinformation: The Biggest Concern for Internet and Social Media," that has been studied in the Oxford Research Library. Disinformation in this world today, in these days nowadays, is perceived or considered as the significant risk to related to the use of internet and the social media. If we talk about the 10 top countries, Brazil has the people of the Brazil has the most concern about, like 80% of the people are concerned about the fake news that they have we are getting on the information is not as good as much, and we have seen the result of that in the last 2 weeks, when there's an election in it, and so that is what they're all about. Like, the information that we are getting on the internet, it's somewhat not reliable, and we can't just blindly trust on it. It can be a fake, and this has caused many information and the deviation of the plans. It has been in the OECD. It is calculated that the OECD is spending more than 4% of the daily time, people in the citizens of the OECD, as compared to the average some other countries. And it has been published. This study has been published in the 2019. If we talk about the days when we got in this time when we have so much information, if we talk about before we move towards the fake news and the agenda of the fake news, like how it has become a pandemic or an epidemic, first we have to look about like how does the traditional news process works, in which there are some professionals which create news, and there's a self-censorship. Then it moves towards the editorial policy, in which there's an editor which can you can say just amplify and ask for the reliable resources. Then there's a publisher who are reasonable, responsible, and they're reliable. And then among all this whole process, there is a policing method, you can say there's a control method, which sorts of information can be used to the public domain, and then they can amplify and go out to the public for to consume. There's a self-censorship process, there's an editorial process, there's a responsibility and the reliability. But in this era, when we are talking about the internet era, this news process has somewhat properly confused, and you can say that it has totally dismantled. Now anyone, with be it may an amateur or be it may a professional, can create a news. The self-censorship is only implies on the person. There is no method to amplify, to impose it, or you can say to judge anyone. Anyone can add it, anyone can publish, and due to this social media platform, anyone can amplify. There is no policing method, there is no check and balance, there is no criteria pedestal on which we can say that this is the criteria you have to maintain and you have to continue. So in this internet process, my professors gave me this task to done some research in this domain and find out, design a way like how to uh, we can stop this process. In this, the first task would be the fake news detection, the early rumor detection. How can we detect like this is a rumor that is spreading and we can stop it at earliest as possible? And the fake news stunt identification, like how does this news is going to change the perception, or it is using as a medium to changing the perception and mitigating the fake news effect all over the people. So in this, I have studied and published a lot of doing some research currently, and we are in my lab. We are working on some models to implement and mitigate. The first thing that we have done is like we want to implement a model in which we can use not just on the basis of the English, but on the basis of different languages, so that we can study and we can do that same research in which we are trying to translate, since I'm in Korean, from that to what are the effects of English to Korean, Korean to English, and we're trying to maintain a new database. And this we are working on it, and we have studied something. There are two comparisons that I would love to share. Yes. This is the comparisons of deep learning models that has been used to detect the fake news. There are a lot of different data sets I have used and to compare. And which the first one is that the ICNN dataset, in which they have uploaded on two labels, the fake news and the real news, and they have provided a URL which I have uploaded them to their to Google Drive so that we can download their dataset. The second one is the FEMI dataset, in which there are different sections and different newses that they have covered, in which there's the Charlie Hebdo case, the Ferguson case, the German wings crash and the rumors, and then there's the Ottawa shooting, which is in the USA, that there's a rumor on the Facebook that there's a shooting in Ottawa school and that some person, there's some kids have died, but among them there is the spread of some rumors has been spread. So I have created all the resources of each dataset, and in some cases, if a person is using like if two or three peer researchers have using the same dataset, I have reuse these datasets instead of creating an each one. Different techniques and have been implemented. Some have uses the BERT model, which is a transformer based model, while some other use a lightweight model for a comparisons. Like CNN, convolutional neural network, in which there is a convolutional layers integrated with the max pooling and all that layers. Then there is the LSTM and the machine learning techniques such as the SVM with n-gram, dynamic n-gram based feature selection to support and to acquire that information. There is also another comparison that I would love to share. I think yes, it is a COVID-19 information. There's a lot of misinformation has spread, and on that, there's a COVID-19 data set that has been created. It has been a part of a competition that has occurred in the AAAI Artificial Intelligence Conference in the 2020. It has become a competition, and among them, all the most of these papers that I have added in this are related to that, in which they have provided a Twitter data set in which there is some multiple sort of information has been spread, like these are the cause, like some says like in Korea there's a tech, there's a rumor that if you use seaweed it might be good for health. In Asia, like Indo-Pak, India and Pakistan, there's information like if you use sesame seeds it's good for health. These studies or these have no scientific proof. They have acquired these data sets, and they have studied like different sort of information, like are these the scientifically factually correct information or not. So this data set has some information in that, and we are also in my lab we are working on that, in which they have used different parameters like the frozen parameters using BiLSTM, which is bidirectional long short term memory layers, and the other they have used the CNN with the same parameters with the CNN. They have acquired, or they have qualified their, or you can say judged the efficiency of their model on the basis of 4 to 5 parameters. The first one is the accuracy, like how accurately the model have detected the fake news. The second one is the F1 score, the ROC, and the training loss, how much loss that it has covered. Among all these, apart from all these matters, they also have some other parameters such as the precision, the F1 score, and there's a recall effect, how much it has covered. So I have compared 10 models of the 10 papers of these COVID-19 related models. Most of these papers are from the 2022 and 2021. I have not done that, but I might not take that much of a time of yours. So if you guys have any questions, I would be love to. Thank you.